Greetings, beloved brothers and sisters. There are opportunities on this plane that are quite remarkable. All of the growth takes place in your relationships. Even though you are one with everything you see, in this illusion, on this plane, you have an opportunity for tremendous growth by the nature of your relationships. The most important relationships that you have when you first start out are with your mother and your father, or whoever it is that raises you. And the love you feel for these people is so deep, it's almost unfathomable. But it's also mixed with the recognition that you need them for your survival. And that whereas while you were in the womb, the love was constant and unconditional and perfect. Once you're born, it's quite imperfect. Sometimes they come when you're crying, sometimes they don't, sometimes they can figure out what you need, sometimes they can't. But you quickly realize that you need these people for your survival. And you also genuinely love them. And you want their love. And you need their love for your survival too. So it's quite a deep relationship with whoever raises you. And part of what people do is they adopt the values of whoever raises them. And yes, when they grow up, they might rebel against those values, but those values are deep. They come to see themselves as they are seen. And when you get older, ask yourself if you've ever had this experience. Have you ever felt that you kind of wish you were getting what you were giving? That there's an inequity there. Sometimes you feel like you've made a decision to be a good person, and you are a good person, and you try your best, and you're loving, and you're considerate. But what you notice is that even though you respect other people's boundaries, sometimes they don't respect yours. Even though you give to others, sometimes they don't give back to you. Even though you try to be loving, sometimes they don't have any interest in being loving back to you. Even though you try to be fair, they're not fair with you. And right now, there's tremendous emphasis, if you read what people are talking about, on narcissism. Narcissus fell in love with his image in the lake. And there are people who are very, very concerned with their image. And they love their image. And everything is about looking good. But it seems like the discussion of narcissism is quite rampant right now. Why do you suppose that is? Why are people so self-absorbed and so unconscious of the needs of others? And why, when you continue to give and give and give, do you sometimes feel like your bucket is emptying, but it's not getting refilled? Well, it's based on the belief that if you give what you wish you were getting, one, that people will recognize that. Maybe they'll say, my goodness, you certainly do work hard. We're going to give you a raise. Or you certainly have been selflessly giving. We want to give back to you. And much of the giving that people do is from the heart. It feels good to give. It is in the giving that we receive. But if you ever find yourself longing to have someone give back to you, recognize you, acknowledge you, appreciate you, and love you the way you've been loving to them, I want you to know something. That is a gift for you. If you find yourself around narcissistic people, that is a gift for you. Because what it means is that you need to work on loving yourself. Those people who are not giving back to you what you're giving to them, you're kind to them, they're not kind to you, are actually being quite obedient. Unwittingly, you have sent them a message that you are both needless and wantless. And they're quite responsive to that. You've taught them how to treat you. And when they act in a narcissistic way, you stay with them. So you really are telling them that it's okay to be the way they're being, because there are no negative consequences to their being that way. And you keep hoping that they're going to recognize, they're going to return that loyalty. But really what your being is loyal to your parents' beliefs about you, fears about you, admonitions they made towards you, criticisms they had of you. And you're trying as best you can to rise above those criticisms and not be what they accused you of. Not be selfish, not be spoiled, not be greedy. What is called for in those times when you're not getting back what you're giving and it hurts is for you to realize that you need to love yourself. This takes a lot of courage because in a sense, loving yourself would be disloyal to the values of your parents, the way they treated you. You're actually rejecting their view of you. You're being unconditionally loving to yourself when they were quite conditional in their love, because that's how they were treated and that's how their parents were treated, and it went back for generations. So it takes quite a bit of courage to love yourself and to be kind as you are to yourself, to respect your own boundaries, to give to yourself, to be forgiving of yourself, to be the best friend you can to yourself, to parent yourself from the perspective of the divine. You have this in you. All the selfish people in your life and the ones who won't acknowledge you and won't appreciate you, they are a gift. They are saying, don't look to us. Don't look to us. That's not our job. You need to love yourself. Take this on. Be as kind and as gentle to yourself as you are to others. If you find yourself saying, it's easy for me to forgive other people, I can't seem to forgive myself. How about that? That's where you need to work. And it's so rewarding. Be the best friend you ever had. Forgive yourself instantly. Treat yourself the way you would treat your own grandchild. Instantly forgiven. Loved no matter what. Be good to yourself. And in that way, you're being God to yourself. I love you, and I'll speak with you again soon.